that stat sheet in front of you.
Pronounce it Jalea.
Jalea.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm always like that. Okay, I'm always
Okay, we are ready to get started. Welcome back to our press conference this evening. Congratulations to the Southern Jaguars, winners of tonight's game versus Samford. They will advance to play the #1 seed South Carolina on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock here at Colonial Life Arena on ABC Sports. A reminder to silence your cell phones and no flash photography is permitted during the press conferences. The locker rooms are open for 30 minutes following the end of the cooling off period after the game. The cooling off period for Southern is 10 minutes. For Southern, we have Coach Carlos Funches and players Jalea Reed and Demaya Porter. Our format calls for opening remarks for Coach Funches, followed by questions for the student athletes. Once questions are completed for the student athletes, they will be dismissed back to the locker room, and we'll proceed with questions for the head coach. A reminder, when Josh is our mic holder, he'll get the microphone to you for questions. And a reminder to state your name and affiliation before asking your questions. Coach, just a brief opening statement about your victory tonight.
Well, I thought the young ladies came out and played extremely hard. I thought we were a little antsy at the beginning of the game and did some things that was uncharacteristic of our team, but we settled down. I thought in that second quarter we did a solid job of getting some good shots. I see we scored 16 points, but we took good shots. You know, I thought the first half, again, we were a little jittery, but we straightened it out and did a great job, especially defensively and on the boards as well. I knew it was going to be a battle. They do a lot of ball screen motion stuff, a lot of handoffs and things like that, and they have some great shooters. Hats off to them for being a great team.
Okay, questions for our student athletes now. If you raise your hand for a question.
I'm Grant Turner with USA Today. This can be for either Porter or Reed. How important was it scoring 14 points off turnovers? And that was a big factor, and you guys forced several turnovers as well.
Okay. We knew that they weren't really used to the ball pressure that we played with, so we knew that we had to take advantage of them not being used to the game that we play. And we know that if we turn over the ball, we have to always advance off of that and take advantage and, you know, try to do our best to win.
Josh, I think we have a question.
Don't be nervous. Just talk.
Lou Bajak from the state newspaper here in Columbia. Ladies, what was the key in that fourth quarter, that run? You guys, they were hitting a bunch of threes, and what was the key in that fourth quarter defensively for you to slow them down?
I think just being aggressive on defense and making them uncomfortable. We know they can shoot pretty well, so we just had to run them off the three-point line, make them do something that they're not really used to, and that's really putting the ball on the floor. And we know defense is our motto. So.
Yep.
Okay, I think we have a question on the Zoom. Rob Knox.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, can you hear us?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, ladies. This is Rob Knox of the Nine Basketball. Congratulations on the win tonight. Jalea, this is for you. Obviously, you know, when you came to Southern, you had a reputation for, you know, shooting the ball. You're absolutely outstanding shooter. How challenging, or if it was challenging at all, to buy into the defensive concept of Southern basketball, just fit in with the program?
I say it took me a little minute, but I knew coming over here what the standard was. You know, I played against them, so I kind of knew what it was like because they did it to me all for 2 years, so I knew how I felt. And I wanted to be a part of something and be a piece to a puzzle. So.
And then second question for Demaya, you know, you outscored them 14-2 down the stretch. For you all, obviously you've all been in a lot of close games this year. When it was 51-51, what was the conversation like? Was it just keep playing, or just, you know, we know we would, you know, find a way, our defense would eventually find the key to win?
The conversation to always keep playing hard. You know, don't let the score be a factor of how you play. Don't be nervous. Don't be anxious. You know what I'm saying? You just always have to go out there and play with your whole heart. Play great. Don't think about what ifs, what's going to happen next. Think about what's in the present and what you can do to affect the future.
Any other questions in the room?
So you guys scored 34 points in the paint. That looked like it was key to your win today. Can you share more on how successful that was and how you're going to use that against South Carolina to also be successful in the paint?
Well, I don't know how we're going to use it against South Carolina, but we wanted to drive the basketball and try to get some easy buckets. I thought Michaela Cunningham did a great job, especially down the stretch, driving, drawing, and dishing. She dropped a couple of passes off to Demaya. I mean, that kind of broke the game open. And then defensively, if you apply that kind of pressure all night, it's going to affect you, even if you're a shooter. And like they have knockdown shooters, but the ball pressure, just wearing them down, I thought really, really took effect late in the game.
Any other questions for our student athletes?
Just your thoughts on facing South Carolina and the program, and you guys played a lot of Power 4 teams this year, but getting a chance to face them here in the tournament.
I think it'll be a great experience for us. Of course, we know South Carolina, you know, who they are. We all are fans of them, actually. But we know that we're going to come out here and play our best, and we're going to represent who we are.
Yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity, you know, the chance to get to play with some good competition and in front of a lot of people. So, yeah, I'm just ready for that.
Okay, we'll dismiss our student athletes back to the locker room, and we'll begin to take questions for Coach Funches.
Thank
Ladies,
you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Go Jags.
Congratulations.
Good job. Good job, ladies.
Questions for Coach Funches? Coach, if you can talk about the way the defense stepped up tonight.
Well, that was going to be a big key to us having victory tonight, just ball pressure. You know, just wearing the shooters down. I mean, they do a tremendous job of running their offense, and they're hard to guard. And, again, they have some knockdown shooters. I mean, the leading three-point maker in the country. I mean, you don't play against players like that often, but we did a really good job of switching out defenders on her and making it tough. I think she ended up with like 16 points or so, but that was a tough 16. So hopefully, you know, she'll be tired tonight.
We had a question from – oh, go ahead, Lou.
Just, Coach, what does this mean for the program? 2 straight years winning an NCAA tournament game, and just your thoughts on that, and then also facing South Carolina on Saturday.
Well, I mean, it's tremendous, not just for our program, but for our conference. We have some really good basketball players in our conference and some really good coaches. You know, our league is tough. We went on the road this year and won a couple of Power 4 games. I mean, we beat Arizona, we beat University of Houston, and then we entered our conference season, and we went 12-6. So that just shows you the talent that's in our league. And if you're not playing at your best each and every night, anybody's capable of beating you. Now, when it comes to South Carolina, you know, of course, we just got to go out and compete and play our game and try to do the best that we can. But I'm so proud of these young ladies to make it to this point. You know, we had to overcome a lot of adversity, but, you know, I love my kids. And they came out and they're going to give you 100% every night, regardless if it's good or bad.
Hey, Coach, during the game, I noticed that your assistant coach, Jeremy Bonin,
Yes.
and please forgive me if I butchered his last name, but he was very vocal to the girls during the game, you know, a very vocal guy for you. Can you share with me how key he is to get them excited, get them going, and just key to distribute the plays and what you guys need to get?
He's a big key. He's my defensive coordinator. Of course, we sit down and look at what we're going to do, but he comes up with that defensive game plan. And, you know, we try to take away other teams' strengths and try to make them play to their weaknesses and things like that. But he's one of the best in the country, no doubt about it. He's passionate about what he does, and the girls know it as well.
Have a question on the Zoom from Rob Knox.
Hey, Carlos, how you doing?
How you doing, Rob?
I'm good, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, I just want to follow up on Jalea. Uh, obviously, she had a, obviously great offensive game tonight. But for your program, you got to play defense. So what was that? What was that challenge like for her coming in and becoming more defensive minded for you?
Well, I always knew that she was quick enough to be able to push up and guard the basketball. And as the year went on, she knew that's what she had to do, really, to get a lot of playing time, a lot more playing time. And she did that. She turned out to be one of our best defenders, without a doubt. But I mean, she's just selfless. Some games she only took one or two shots. Some games. Some games she would score at 16 or 17 points. So whatever it took to win, that's what she was willing to do. And thank goodness we have her.
And then just to follow up, I mean, obviously with the shot they did tonight, it's not a surprise to you. But how important was it for you to see her set that tone early with those early steals in the first few minutes of the game?
I mean, she's going to come out. She's tough as nails. She's guarded some of the best players in the country. And that's a challenge to her. She's our defensive stopper now. She might not take a shot in some game, but she's going to push up and she's going to guard and she's going to disrupt. I mean, she's really physical. The only thing I was worried about with her was were the officials going to let her play physical. And they let us bump them a little bit and things like that, and that was to our advantage. And she did a remarkable job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Hey, Coach, I noticed also here on the stat sheet, your bench scored 20 points tonight. Can you expand on that and how key that was to your success?
Well, we always have a strong bench. As a matter of fact, the last, I think, 2 games, our bench outscored our starters. So we're a little bit better offensively when we go to the bench. Not as strong defensively, but that's not unexpected.
Any more questions for Coach Funches? Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. A reminder that Coach Funches and Southern players will be available here at 2:05 to 2:40 as part of our press conference schedule tomorrow. Okay, tell us when ready in the back. Okay, we have now with us Coach Matt Wise and student athletes Sierra Godbolt and Alyssa Tarpley from Samford. Our format will be opening remarks for Coach Wise, followed by questions for our student athletes. Once questions are completed for our student athletes, they will be dismissed back to the locker room, and we will proceed with questions for Coach Wise. Coach, if you can give us a brief opening statement about the game.
Yeah, I thought that this was a matchup between if it was a boxing match, it was going to be a heavy hitter versus a counter puncher. I thought Southern would try to be the heavy hitter and try to knock us out with their physicality, their pressing, their pressure. And I thought that for us to be successful, we were going to have great counter punches. So we were going to have to attack their pressure, get downhill, get collapses, and get kickouts. So obviously what they do best is they force turnovers, they get offensive rebounds, and they get to the free throw line. They're one of the best teams in the country getting to the free throw line. And so for them to win all three of those battles heavily, they certainly hit us with the heavyweight shots. I thought our team did an unbelievable job of, despite their physicality, despite the fact that because it's the NCAA tournament, that I think teams can be more physical in that setting, and Southern played to it. What I was so proud of is our team, our players, they didn't back down. They didn't flinch. And I think more than anything, it was closed out by a team that's been there. They won in the play-in last year, and all the credit to them. But this group, the fight that we had tonight while being uncomfortable, is the same fight we had being uncomfortable when we were 1-6. And they didn't flinch then, and they didn't flinch tonight. And for that, I couldn't be more proud.
Thank you. So we'll have questions for our student athletes. If you could raise your hand, we'll get Jackie in the mic in the mic to you. Just when you get the mic, just your name and affiliation so we know who you are.
Kaya, Samford Women's Basketball. Alyssa, you've been here for 4 years. You've been with Samford this long. Talk about what it means to, spend all 4 years at Samford and going out in the March Madness tournament.
Yeah, it means the world. I mean, you can't ask for a better ending to a basketball career than getting to play in the NCAA tournament. And honestly, Samford has been such a blessing. It's been so amazing, the people that have come through, but especially this year. Like I just told Coach Matt, I can't thank him enough for what he's done in this program this year, because I haven't had this much fun in a really long time. And the relationships with these girls are relationships that are going to be there for the rest of our lives. And so I just wanted to say thanks again. And really just it means the world. I couldn't ask for anything else.
Sierra, this is for you. It took you guys a few minutes early in the game to kind of get comfortable. Can you share particularly, what throughout the game kind of made it difficult to get comfortable in that early first half?
Yeah, well, we knew their pressure was going to be tough coming out in the first quarter. We knew we just had to stay the course, and eventually they'll fall back. But we just knew we had to push it, get past them, get past that first layer of defense, and then bring it back out and execute from there.
Additional questions?
This is for you again. Being a senior, this is your last game here, but you looked like you were a vocal leader on the court today. Can you expand on that and how this moment meant to you today?
Yeah, I feel like that's something the coaches have really challenged me with since my freshman year and just as I went through the program. And I feel like it just makes it mean that much more because we've got a really solid core. I mean, Sierra here too, another vocal leader. Like, we need that in a point guard. We had 4 seniors this year that really made an impact like that, but this was a young team, and so there was a lot to learn and a lot of growth, and I think that was very evident in our season and how that went. But honestly, it's just, I don't even know. It's absolutely amazing to get the opportunity to lead these girls and be a part of it and get to play in this game and do what we did this year. So
we have a question on the Zoom from Rob Knox.
Hey, ladies, how you doing? This is Rob Knox of the Nine Basketball. This is for both of you all. What are you most proud of your careers, and even like the last week? So I guess if you could like just share what the last week was like for you all from the SoCon run to now. I bet you it had to be a lifetime full of memories.
Well, I think if anybody saw our regular season in the conference, it was a struggle at first. And so, honestly, even leading up to the SoCon tournament, going on a run and getting hot like that, it just became really, really fun. Like, we wanted to play together. We wanted to show up to practice every single day. And that just makes it so much more fun. And then getting into the conference tournament as a 6th seed and beating the 3 teams that shared the conference title, that was absolutely incredible. It made it mean that much more. And it just meant that we got to go play some more games together. And that's what I'm taking away from all of this is the relationships that I built with each of these girls, because that's what makes it special. And I don't feel like you can get that in every program, but that's something special about Samford that I will never take for granted.
Piggyback off of Tarp, yeah, the way we ended our SoCon tournament, we were just so grateful and happy that we were able to make it to this March Madness and be in this environment. And we took on the challenge. And, of course, this is not the way we wanted to end things, but I feel like we're so grateful and we have fun. And leading up to this, we just stick together. And that's all we could do.
And then, as a quick follow-up, I know Coach Staley spoke to you all today or yesterday. What was that moment like for you all? And if you're able to, if you could share any takeaways from her message to you all.
Well, first of all, that was just a really cool experience. I mean, you got to have a lot of respect for her. She's an incredible coach. So to get to hear her and just have her talk to us, it meant a lot. Talked a lot about bringing the habits from practice into the game, right? Like, that's what's gotten us to this moment, is what we've done in practice since August when we got back into school. And so sticking with the habits, and we talk about that a lot as a team. So to hear somebody like her say that was just really cool and meant a lot.
I agree.
Any other questions? I'll finish with one from me. What does it mean to finish your career at the NCAA tournament in March Madness?
For me, it means everything. We worked hard for this moment. I've been playing basketball for I don't know how long. So to end my senior season like this with a great group of girls, I love them to death. And thanks to my coach for building so much confidence into me, bringing me to Samford. I'm so grateful and wouldn't want it to be any other way with any other group of girls, any other group of coaches, supporters, everyone. I'm so thankful.
Just piggyback off of that, this opportunity is absolutely incredible. You can't ask for anything else going out to end your basketball career. Like, this is what you work for all season, especially for us in our conference. This is what we work for, is that conference championship and the chance to play in the NCAA tournament, and we made that happen this year. And to do it with the people that we did it with, the girls, the players, and the support staff, it was incredible. And so I'm just so thankful.
And on that, I'll say what was so special about this group is we talk in our culture about the quote from Atomic Habits of you don't rise to the level of your hopes and dreams, you fall to the level of your system and habits. And so this group, they normalized hard work. They normalized competing in practice. They normalized taking charges and putting your body on the line, and the elements of toughness required in the game to win. And so, yeah, finishing it in the NCAA tournament on the heels of a championship is incredible. But that doesn't happen because you want it to happen. 365 teams want it to happen. They had to work for it. And they had to work for it when it seemed daunting as a possibility. And so instead of trying to be perfect, they chose to be brave and authentically them and to give everything they have. When they could have held back, they could have reserved out of fear of judgment, and they didn't. They gave 100%, and that's the only way this happens. And for that, I think it is such a special group.
Ladies, thank you so much. We're going to dismiss you back to the locker room, and we'll take questions for Coach Wise here in a second. Thank you all so much. Okay, questions for Coach Wise. Raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you.
Hey, Coach. So you spent 3 years as an assistant coach, so you've seen these girls develop over time, and now being a head coach in your first year, leading up to an NCAA tournament, what kind of statement does that make for recruiting and in the future of the program?
I told them before the game that I wanted them to show the world our program's identity. And for us, it's IQ and toughness. And so I wanted people to see us run all of our different funky offenses and different zones and everything. I wanted people to see us dive on the floor for loose balls and take charges the way that that's been our identity. And so I wanted, in this setting, for any recruit that watches, for any fan that watches, for any of our alums or our current people back at Samford back home, I wanted everybody to watch and go, man, that is a smart and tough group. It is awesome that they represent Samford.
Hey, Matt, Miller Press. You challenged yourself earlier in the season. How do you look back upon that now? You questioned yourself earlier on whether that was the right choice. How do you feel about that now?
Yeah, I mean, when we played the schedule that we played, the things I said publicly was that, one, it shines a floodlight on your flaws and not a spotlight. And so we saw our flaws, and we had to battle through them. And so for this young group to have to experience that, then battle, then you get to conference play, and you got to understand, like, look, it's college basketball. Everybody has injuries. It happens to literally everybody. But I rattled them off the other night around the other assistants, and I said, when you think about it, we were without Kaylee for 2 weeks in conference play. We lost Jada in January for the rest of the season with an ACL. We lost Bo for 5 weeks with a knee procedure. 2 of those weeks we didn't have Carla, our other 5, because she was coming off of a concussion. We didn't have Sierra for 3 of our games when we went to Georgia State because she was sick. Like it goes on and on and on and on. And so when you go through that, all of that, it's really hard to see beyond the 6 inches in front of your face. It's really hard to see the big picture. But I don't think you get to the end result by seeing the big picture. I think you see it by solving the next problem. And what's the next problem to solve? And we had a staff and a group of players, but especially the staff, that were unbelievable problem identifiers and problem solvers. And that's what we did, was as we went through problem after problem after problem, they identify it, they solve it. They identify, they solve it. And you solve enough problems, you end up where you end up.
We have a question on the Zoom from Rob Knox.
Hey, Coach, Rob Knox from the 9 basketball. Congratulations on a phenomenal season and great job, great run. In regards to Southern, I know you mentioned the physicality, but aside from the physicality, what made them hard to guard, or if they were hard to guard for your program, with just because they don't have like one leading scorer, they have a posse of players that can just score the ball or lead.
Yeah, I think with Southern, I think what makes them hard is they make you pay, right? Like if you're in position, you can get the stop. And our goal is always to be below 1.0 points per possession defensively, and they had 65 points on 67 possessions. So we weren't drastically good defensively, but we were right about where we wanted to be. But they make you pay on the pick sixes. And when we gave up as many layups as we did on pick sixes, where there is no defense for that, and when they get the putbacks, which there is no half-court defense for the putback, like once they keep taking advantage of those easies, now you play just a little bit tighter on the half court because you almost got to be perfect defensively on the half court in order to offset the number of easies that they get. To me, like that's what makes them so challenging, is the high percentage twos that they can go generate.
Thank you.
Coach, you had your sophomore Brianna Rivera go off for 16 tonight. Can you share what impact that made for the team and for her future career?
Yeah, Bree, as of today, is still first in the country in made threes on the season. Of everybody in the country, 365 teams times 15 players, whatever that comes out to, she's first. And she's an incredible talent. Like, she's an incredible player, and she is such a joy to coach. Obviously, the shooting ability is phenomenal, but she's a competitor. She's an unbelievably good teammate. I mean, we lose in heartbreaking fashion, and everybody's in tears in there. And I look out at our team, and as the clock is winding down, she's not burying her head. She's not sprinting off the floor. She's literally going to the other 4 players on the court and giving them high fives and hugs of support. Like, that's the person she is. So you combine the person she is with the talent she is. And yeah, you know, I thought she could get loose for some threes against them just because of the way they make it so chaotic. And she certainly did. And, you know, the other thing, and I said this at the SoCon tournament, is what she does for us in terms of, because she's out there and everybody has to game plan around her and everybody has to go face guard her, deny her, switch everything to deny, whatever their game plan is going to be. And everybody game plans against it, despite the fact that she didn't get first or second team SoCon and led the country in three-point makes. It creates open gaps for all the rest of our players. And it's one of the things that makes our offense as good as it can be.
Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Check with David.